Well, hello friends out there in YouTube land. Rob here. Today I want to go ahead and share with you how to record real simply using the Tascam Portacapture X8. Check out some awesome reverb and EQ settings that you can apply directly on the device. And maybe in another video, if you like that, talk about how you can mix down and actually create tracks with some pretty advanced post-processing for a device like this. It's really quite cool. Now, if you wanted to do any real kind of studio production and things like that, of course you would want to take all these files in their native form into a DAW or something to finish processing them out. But the fact that you can do so much on the device right there is really cool. So without further ado, let's go ahead and look at those settings now. Alright, so here I'd like to actually show you how to get into the type of recording we're going to do. I'm actually going to go over to manual mode. And I want to make sure that I've got my phantom power turned on in this instance because I am using a condenser microphone. I've also got my guitar plugged in over here. It's the Taylor GTE Urban Ash, and I've got my Tascam TM80 large diaphragm condenser microphone coming out. So these two things are getting turned on. I'm using channels 4 and 5, or 5 and 6, and you can see that they're going to be right over here, channels 5 and 6. I've also got channels 1 and 2, which are the mic capsules up here. They're turned on. In a moment, I'll turn all of this stuff around to face the camera so I can get my ambient with these mics right here on camera or on the Tascam. I've gone ahead and set my levels, but if you needed to go to your inputs, you could do the different things that you would need to do here. And I have 48 volts running to the Tascam. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the inputs that I'm not going to use. A couple things to note: that if we did want to go ahead and do some EQ, we can do that right now. Okay, so right now on the microphone, channel 5, or input 5, no noise gate. I've got a limiter on it. EQ is for vocal. I'd like to show you that although I'm not going to use it, there's a pretty nice 4-band EQ with Q path adjustments that's built in as well. So low mid, and high frequencies, and there's quite a bit of steps that you can go there. So it's a pretty nice little 4-band EQ. Instead of using manual, I'm just going to switch back to vocal for this, and that's going to be it for this particular input. Going over to input 6, which is my guitar, I'm going to use a compressor on the guitar, which is always pretty nice, as well as the guitar itself for my EQ. Now that that's set up, I'm all back. The EQ that is set up for the microphones up top as a stereo pair is a simple vocal EQ. Now there's another thing I want to share with you before we go any further, and I think that this is a pretty exciting one. So I'm going to push the home button. That's going to take me back to the recording home. I could have gotten to it just by pressing the soft key as well. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to tap my menu icon. I'm going to go to General Settings. Now over here in General Settings, I can go to my Input Output, and I'm going to do something very special. I'm actually going to assign a reverb to a particular track. So I'm turning reverb on, and I'm going to assign that to track 1 and 2, which are my ambient microphones. They're on Tascam microphone, and I'm going to bump it up there to some ridiculous amount. Okay, you could put it all the way up. In fact, I think that I like large hall, but sometimes I prefer small hall. Actually, we'll keep all of these are pretty good. I like room and studio. I like plate 1. These do have different effects and different sounds, so it is nice to be able to go ahead and add this as an effect to your music as you are bringing it in. Now you can apply this to the entire mix, tracks 5 and 6, 3 and 4, or just tracks 1 and 2. I'm going to apply this specifically to track 1 and 2, although I am recording a stereo mix of all of this together as well, so I could apply it to the mix, but you only have 4 options. In this instance, I'm going to do 1 and 2. Now, if you're going to do some different recording or post-processing, you might do something later. So you may choose you want it on a different particular track. But my tracks 5 and 6 actually have all of my inputs in specifically for my vocal and my guitar. And so I like to use this as, like I said, an ambient track. There's another thing that we can do over here just to talk about, and that's over here, input select. If you ever need to choose which inputs are doing what, you can very easily take your inputs 1 and 2 and turn that into the extensions over here, external ins or USB in. You can assign those to each just depending on what you want. And the only thing that I will say is you can't double up on your inputs. So you can't have tracks 1 and 2 and then tracks 3 and 4 also dubbing from 1 and 2 so that you could have 2 recordings at different volumes and things like that. That's just not possible, although it would be nice. Okay, now that we've got that figured out and everything's set up, the only thing left to do is go ahead and play. So I'm going to turn this around and get the camera set back up just for you.
Now here you go again, you say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down? It's only right that you should play the way you feel it. But listen carefully to the sound of your loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad. In the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. Women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you free, you'll know. You will know. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining. And players only love you when they're playing. Women, they will come and they will go. And when the rain washes you free, you'll know.
Wow, so there you have it. I hope that you have enjoyed that. Been quite a bit of fun sharing this with you. A couple of caveats at the end to know. If you're going to record like this and use the reverb function, you have to record at no higher than 48 kilohertz sample rate, so no, not 192 or 196 and stuff like that. But you still can record and float as well as 24-bit, so that's cool. Hope you enjoyed this. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think and use the Amazon links. None of this is sponsored. Thanks, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Bye for now.